When people think of tech careers, they usually think of software engineers, startup founders, or people building AI tools and hoodies. But tech is much bigger than coding. Some of the best careers in tech are the ones people barely talk about. Jobs that pay well, have strong demand, and don't always require becoming a hardcore programmer. Today, we're breaking down 7 of the most underrated tech careers, including what they do, why they matter, and why people should know about them. Let's get into it. Number 1, cybersecurity analyst. Cybersecurity analysts protect companies from digital threats. And honestly, this career becomes more important every single year. Because the world keeps becoming more connected in a digital way, think about how much sensitive information exists online now. Bank accounts, password, medical records, customer data, business systems, payment information, private messages, and even smart home devices. Everything is digital, which means everything's a target. Cybersecurity analysts help protect organizations from hackers, phishing scams, ransomware, malware, and data breaches. For example, imagine an employee receives an email that looks like it came from their CEO. The message says, urgent, send payment immediately. But the email is fake, right? Cybersecurity teams help identify threats before companies lose millions of dollars. And yes, attacks like that happen constantly. Some cyber criminals don't even hack systems technically, they trick humans instead. That's called social engineering, which is honestly fascinating and pretty terrifying at the same time, right? Now, here's something many students don't realize. Cybersecurity is not just typing code dramatically while green numbers fly across the screen like a movie scene. A huge part of cybersecurity involves monitoring systems, analyzing suspicious activity, investigating unusual behavior, responding to incidents, and improving security practices. For example, if thousands of login attempts suddenly appear from another country at 3 a.m., security analysts investigate. Maybe it's harmless, maybe it's the beginning of a serious attack. They have to figure that out. That uncertainty makes the job intense sometimes. Now, here's why this career is underrated. Most people only notice cybersecurity after something goes wrong. When a major company gets hacked, suddenly everyone remembers cybersecurity exists. But behind the scenes, analysts are constantly preventing problems nobody even hears about. And good cybersecurity saves companies enormous amounts of money. A single breach can cost millions of dollars, customer trust, lawsuits, and public embarrassment. That's why demand for cybersecurity professionals remains extremely high. What's interesting though is that many people enter cybersecurity through non-traditional paths. Some start in IT support, networking, military service, system administration, certifications, or self-study. You do not always need a computer science degree. Skills matter a lot. And because threats are evolving constantly, this field rewards curiosity and continuous learning. There's always a new scam out there, new vulnerabilities, a new attack method, or a new security tool, which means boredom usually isn't the problem. However, stress might be though. Imagine getting a 2 a.m. alert because suspicious activity is spreading across company systems. That pressure is real, but experienced cybersecurity analysts can earn very strong salaries, especially in cloud security, threat intelligence, penetration testing, and incident response. And unlike some trendy careers, cybersecurity demand will probably keep growing for decades because unfortunately, hackers are not planning on retirement anytime soon. Number 2, sales engineer. Now, let's talk about one of the most underrated, high-paying careers in all of tech, the sales engineer. Most people have no idea that this job even exists, but companies will gladly pay 6 figures for people who can do it well. A sales engineer combines 2 extremely valuable abilities: understanding technology and explaining it clearly to people. That combination is surprisingly rare because a lot of technical experts struggle with communication and a lot of charismatic salespeople don't understand complicated systems deeply enough. Sales engineers bridge that gap. For example, imagine a company selling cybersecurity software to a hospital. The hospital leadership wants answers. Is this secure? How hard is this to set up? Will it work with existing systems? What happens during outages? Can employees learn it easily? Why is it better than the competitors out there? A sales engineer helps explain all of that. They may run demos, answer technical questions, meet with executives, assist during negotiations, and help customers understand complex products. Think of them as the translators between engineers and business decision makers. Now, here's why this role became more important recently. Technology became incredibly complicated. Companies now sell cloud infrastructure, AI systems, enterprise software, automation platforms, robotics, cybersecurity tools, and advanced analytic systems. Customers often don't fully understand what they are buying, which means companies desperately need people who can simplify the complexity of it. And honestly, that skill is valuable anywhere in life, really. People who can explain complicated ideas clearly often become more influential than people who simply understand them privately. Now, let's talk about salary. Enterprise software deals can be enormous. Some contracts involve millions of dollars. If a sales engineer helps close a major deal, companies are happy to reward that. Many experienced sales engineers earn strong salaries, commissions, bonuses, and stock compensation. Some earn more than traditional engineers, which surprises people. But it makes sense. Helping companies understand expensive technology can generate huge revenue. Now, obviously, this career has pressure too. Sales environments can be intense. You might spend weeks preparing for a presentation only for a client to say, "We decided not to move forward." That happens. But for people who enjoy technology, communication, presentations, and problem solving, this career can be an incredible fit. And unlike certain tech careers, personality and communication skills become major advantages here. Up next, the UX researcher. This is one of the most overlooked careers in tech because most people assume great apps are created entirely by designers and engineers. But before companies build products, someone has to understand the users. That's what UX researchers do. They study how people interact with technology. Their job is to answer questions like, why are users confused? Why are the customers leaving? Which features matter most? What frustrates people? What feels intuitive? What feels annoying when you're using it? For example, imagine a banking app where thousands of users abandon the sign-up process halfway through. The company may think maybe users just aren't interested, but a UX researcher investigates and discovers the identity verification process feels confusing, instructions are unclear, and users panic when asked for certain personal information. Small adjustments could dramatically improve sign-up rates. That's the power of understanding behavior. UX researchers often interview users, observe product testing, analyze customer feedback, run surveys, and identify friction points. And honestly, this career becomes more important as products become more competitive because technology is no longer just about functionality. User experience matters enormously. For example, why do people love some apps but abandon others instantly? Sometimes the difference is surprisingly small. Fewer confusing buttons, clearer onboarding, faster loading, or a simpler navigation. Good UX research helps companies avoid building products based on assumptions because companies are often wrong about what users want. Very wrong. Tech history is full of features executives thought people would just love and users completely ignored. Now, here's why this career is underrated. You don't necessarily need advanced coding skills. This role rewards psychology, communication, curiosity, empathy, and analytical thinking. People enter UX research from backgrounds like psychology, sociology, anthropology, design, marketing, and human behavior studies. And honestly, understanding people is becoming more valuable in tech. AI and automation are growing rapidly, but companies still desperately need people who can understand human behavior because products fail all the time when companies ignore real users. Now, let's talk about one of the most practical careers in modern business, the data analyst. At first glance, this career might sound boring, but data analysts are basically detectives for businesses. They investigate patterns and help companies make smarter decisions. Think about all the questions companies are having to constantly ask. Why did sales drop? Which products perform best? Why are users leaving? What ads worked? What should we improve? What trends are changing? Data analysts help answer those questions using information instead of guesses. For example, imagine an online clothing store notices sales are suddenly falling. A data analyst may investigate, did the website traffic decrease? Did ads stop performing? Did prices change? Did shipping delays increase? Are customers abandoning carts more often? Instead of relying on opinions or guesses, businesses use evidence. And honestly, that's one of the reasons this career is growing. Modern companies collect enormous amounts of data, but raw information means nothing unless someone truly understands it. Data analysts help turn messy information into helpful and useful insights. They often work with spreadsheets, dashboards, SQL, reporting tools, visualizations, and trend analysis. For example, a streaming platform may analyze what shows people finish, when viewers stop watching, which thumbnails attract clicks, and which genres increase their subscriptions. A sports company might analyze player performance. A restaurant chain may study customer ordering behavior. A finance company might analyze fraud patterns. Data exists everywhere now, which means analysts are useful almost everywhere. Now, here's something important. This career is underrated because people assume it's just spreadsheets, but strong analysts influence major decisions. A good insight can save money, increase revenue, improve products, or identify problems early. And unlike some highly technical engineering roles, people can gradually build skills in this field. Someone may start with, let's say, Excel, Google Sheets, and dashboards, but then later they learn SQL, Python, automation, or visualization platforms. It's one of the more accessible paths into tech-related work. And for people who enjoy patterns, problem solving, business strategy, and asking questions, it can really be rewarding. Number 5, cloud support engineer. Now, let's talk about a career most people barely think about, the cloud support engineer. The cloud sounds so abstract, right? But it powers huge parts of modern life. When you stream movies, upload files, use apps, store photos, or play online games, cloud systems are usually involved somehow. Cloud support engineers help businesses use cloud infrastructure correctly. They can troubleshoot problems, monitor systems, and help companies keep services running smoothly. For example, imagine an online store crashes during a massive holiday sale. That would be disastrous for them. That outage itself could cost millions of dollars. Cloud support engineers help figure out whether servers overloaded, whether storage systems failed, whether networking issues appeared, or whether traffic spikes cause instability. They solve technical problems that affect real businesses. Now, here's why this career matters more every year. Companies increasingly move systems online instead of managing physical servers themselves. Cloud platforms like AWS, Microsoft, Azure, and Google Cloud have become massive parts of the tech world. And businesses need people who understand how those systems work. Now, obviously, this career can be very technical, but many people enter it through IT support, networking, certifications, help desk experience, or system administration. It can also become a stepping stone into cybersecurity, cloud engineering, DevOps, infrastructure architecture, or site reliability engineering. And honestly, cloud careers are underrated, partly because the work happens behind the scenes. Users rarely think about infrastructure until websites stop working, and then suddenly everyone cares. Number 6, technical writer. Technical writing may be one of the most overlooked careers in the entire tech industry, which is strange because almost every tech company desperately needs clear communication. Technical writers explain complicated systems in simple ways. They create product guides, tutorials, API documentation, onboarding instructions, help articles, manuals, and internal training materials. Now, some people may hear technical writer and immediately think that sounds super boring. But honestly, bad documentation creates chaos. Imagine downloading software with confusing instructions, missing setup steps, unclear explanations, and terrible support articles. People get frustrated instantly and they want to quit immediately. Good technical writers make products feel easier and more professional. For example, imagine a company launching a new developer tool. Engineers may fully understand how it works internally, but new users have no idea where to begin. A technical writer helps bridge that gap. They explain what the tool does, how the setup works, common mistakes, troubleshooting steps, and best practices. And surprisingly, writing clearly is a rare skill. A lot of experts struggle explaining complicated ideas simply, which is why strong technical writers are valuable. Now, here's what makes this career especially interesting. It combines communication, organization, teaching, and technology. People often enter technical writing from backgrounds like journalism, English, communications, education, customer support, or tech roles. And as products become more complicated, companies increasingly need better documentation because confused users create support tickets, onboarding problems, and frustrated customers. Clarity saves businesses time and money, which makes this career even more important than people realize. Finally, the product operations manager. This one is one of those careers people barely understand until they see how chaotic tech companies become without it. Product operation managers help product teams stay organized and efficient. They coordinate feedback systems, workflows, launches, communication, reporting, and operational processes. Think of them as the people keeping the product machine running smoothly. For example, imagine a growing tech company with engineers building features, designers improving interfaces, support teams hearing complaints, marketers gathering customer feedback, and executives requesting changes constantly. That creates information overload very quickly for a company. Product operation managers help organize all of of it. They may track customer requests, improve launch processes, organize product data, coordinate teams, and ensure important information reaches the right people. Without good operations, companies become chaotic. Teams duplicate work, communications break down, feedback gets ignored, projects become disorganized and delayed. Now, here's why this career is underrated. It doesn't get the public attention. Nobody is posting glamorous day-in-the-life videos about improving internal workflows. But internally, companies rely heavily on operational structure, especially as businesses scale. A startup with 5 people can survive some chaos. A company with 5,000 employees absolutely cannot. And product organizations become increasingly valuable as an organization grows. This career is ideal for people who enjoy organization, systems, communication, strategy, and solving process problems. It combines tech and business in a really interesting way. And because many companies don't fully understand how to scale efficiently, strong operational talent is becoming more valuable. And honestly, the biggest takeaway is this: the tech industry is much broader than people realize. You do not have to become a startup founder, an AI genius, or a hardcore software engineer to become a strong career in tech. Modern companies need many different types of people. They need people who can protect systems, explain products, understand users, analyze information, support infrastructure, improve workflows, and solve business problems. Some of these careers are technical, some are creative, some are analytical, and some are people-focused. But all of them matter, and many of them offer strong salaries, long-term demand, career flexibility, and growth opportunities. So if you're interested in technology but don't see yourself coding all day, don't assume that tech isn't for you. There are so many paths into the industry that most people don't even realize. And honestly, some of the most valuable people in tech are the ones helping everything function behind the scenes. Which underrated tech career surprised you the most? We'll see you in the next one.